Hi everyone, our journal page today, and I'm working in this sketch paper notebook, and I want to use some distress inks, but if I use them directly on a sketch paper it will just soak in and I will have problem working with it. So I just took a white paper from a paper pad for painting and it's like I think 180 grams for this paper. I just wanted white and smooth and that I will be able to play with the distress inks. I've got several colors and I wasn't sure what I wanted to use, so I just took a piece of the same paper and just put down the colors so I can see how they work. So I have iced spruce, I've got weathered wood, Victorian velvet, bundled sage, speckled egg, and worn lipstick. Don't know if I will use all of them, but that's the sample I took. So I'm putting them here, and I thought about creating a background just with the distress inks and to use this kind of makeup sponges, because when you're using this you get a round shape. So I'm going to start with this. I'm not very brave with pink, it's not my go-to color, so I'm going to put this first and hope for the best. I'm going to layer the all this and we'll see where it goes. I'm just putting it randomly. Sometimes I'm pushing more and sometimes less. So I've got this out of the way for now, and I'm going for, let's see, let's go with bundled sage, and again just working it so I will get a round shape. And as you can see, I'm also overlapping in some places. I'm not going to cover the whole page. I just want part of this to go something like that. I don't know, we'll see. So I've got the bundled sage, and of course if I don't like something I can go over it and reinforce the color and do a more round shape. I'm not that bothered that it would be a nice round shape, just some. If I wanted I would just take a stencil and do a perfect circles. Let's go with speckled egg. Okay, another okay. Ooh, I love this color. I'm doing some that would be, I hardly put pressure on them, so they are more faded, but they are still there. And when I want it to be stronger, I'm just pushing it more into the page, and if I feel it needs more, then I will just go over and do another one on top. Just playing until I'm satisfied with what I have. Yeah. Next, let's see. I think I'll go with iced spruce, and it's, when I've tested it, it was I think this was it. No, this is the lighter one. Weathered wood was quite, yeah, quite strong, so I'm going to go in very gently like so. I'm really starting to like what's going on here. A little bit of crazy idea, but seems to work. Okay, I'm not going for the worn lipstick. It's too much pink and not here, but I do want something more bluish. I don't know. So let's see, I've got Stormy Sky. Let's test it before I'm putting it on the page. So, okay, it works for me. Again, it's quite a strong color, so I'm trying to be very gentle using it. Okay, I think I'm satisfied. Now, I was thinking first when I thought about making this kind of background to splatter it, so I will get texture and reaction with the distress ink. But then I thought to try and do something else. What I want to try is use this stencil, and I want to dampen this another makeup sponge. So many there are so many shapes and colors and for makeup sponges, so it's now moist, and I want to see if I can go over and if it will work. I'm just not sure if I want to use this large one. Let's go with this. So I'm just going with the watered. Okay, not what I thought it would do, but there is a reaction. Let's go with it. What's the worst that could happen? I just hope that it would give a little bit more texture. Don't know if it was worth it. Maybe I will still splatter, do some splattering of water on this. Maybe. Okay, so splattering. I'm putting a little bit of water here and a fan brush. Not enough water. Okay. I'll just let it react for a bit. Okay. Let's see. I think I'll take some paper towel and lift gently some of it. Don't know how much of it you can see. It's really subtle, but I like it. Okay, so moving on, I need my stencil. I wanted to use this flower here and some leaves. This is one of my stencils that I made. This is bought from AliExpress, and I think I will let it a little bit sit a little bit, and then I will continue. I need gesso. I want this flower to be mainly white, and I'll bring the gesso and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I've got some gesso here and some makeup sponge. Again, makeup sponge, just a different one. And I'm going to stencil this flower, and this is going to probably take 3 layers because I want it completely or almost a white and opaque. So I will just need to be patient and do the layers it needs. So I'm dabbing my makeup sponge so I won't have too much and I won't have spillage underneath. And as you can see, first layer, you can still see what's going on underneath. And sometimes I will leave it like this because it's interesting. This time I want it completely white. Maybe I will even, after 3 layers, maybe I will even go and do another layer with white acrylic paint. So it would be stark white. We'll see. So I'm going to do this. I'm thinking that maybe I want to add the leaf that I showed you, the stencil. And I'm still figuring if I want to do the same thing, do it in white and then add some color, or if I'm going to stencil it with some paint. I don't know yet. Haven't planned completely on it. So I'm going to let this dry before I continue with more layers, and then I'll come back. I'm back. So I've done 2 coats of gesso layers and 2 layers of white acrylic paint to get this white, and I've done only 1 layer of gesso for the leaves, just so I will see where they are on my page. And now I want to do the leaves before I'm adding details to my flower. I've picked this grayish, bluish, I don't know, acrylic paint, and it doesn't have a name. It's from the cheap store, and I'm just going to take my sorry, my stencil and just align it with what I've already done. So I've got a nice coat of gesso, and now I'm going to go over it with the acrylic paint. I'm not even cleaning my brush, I don't care. It will just give me a more variation in the color, but I do dab it so I won't have too much excess, and just start. Now this paint is quite thin, so again maybe I will need to do more layers to get more opaque coverage. We'll see. I prefer to go light right now and add later on. And it's always wise to lift a little bit to see what's going on. It's hardly noticeable on the page. That means I need to add more paint. So I'm going to work again on the layers and be patient about it, and I'll come back. Okay, so as you can see, you can hardly see the leaves here. So I took some dark blue and added it to what I had here, and I'm going to try and just add it to the leaves so they will be more noticeable. And also I'm planning on doing some contour lines, and I hope that will bring everything together. So again, taking the sponge and dabbing excess. Now I'm not going on all over. I'm thinking of putting it in some places and blending it with the rest. I'm not sure yet. I'm just playing, or maybe I will go over everything when I see when I lift it and see if it's okay. I don't know, we'll see. Lifting, okay, that's better. So I just need 1 layer of this with added glue, and then we are going to move on. I'll be back. Okay, moving on. So I've got my leaves. I just want some contour lines and some stem, and I took this felt pen. This is from IKEA. The really simple felt pens. I think we are overlooking them as a source for doing art, and I'm just drawing some stem and going around the shapes like so. Maybe I will even get into each leaf to do some lines. I'm not sure yet. I just want to define this better. Yeah, now it's starting to take shape. Okay, really liking what's going on here. When things start to come together, it's great. Let's see. Okay, I think I had another leaf here that I just forgot to add some paint, so I'm going to do it in a minute. I still have here, but now I think I'm just going to use some brush instead of bringing in the stencil again. I'll just add some color, some paint. Not a great brush, just picked something good enough for me. Okay, and let's move it before I put my hand in it. I'm just special like this. If I've got paint here, my hand will end up in it. So now I'm thinking adding some like shadow or with the felt pen. That's what great about them. Basically they smear and they react to water, and that's why I'm saying that we don't give them enough credit. You can play with them quite nicely, and well, I think of them as like an ink pad, and not permanent ink pad, so it's great. And it's great that they are water reactive. So I'm just adding a little bit in some places, just so they won't look flat. And I'm planning to work also on my flower. It's not going to stay stark white, only in several places. You can also smear it with a Q-tip if you're feeling more comfortable. And I've showed you in the past how you can work with felt pens like watercolors. To all those of you who are afraid of watercolors because they can't control them, you can do watercolors with felt pens like it's with control. So, but only on a watercolor paper. That's I have to say, only on a watercolor paper. So, flower. Let's do some. I think the inside I'm going to use some yellow. Yeah, stark yellow on all this color. I'm starting with this yellow. Again, it's all from the same kit from IKEA. And maybe this one. No, I don't like this color. Let's try the more orangey. I'm just putting it like this, and again I'm just smearing because I don't want harsh lines, and I'm also letting the yellow and the orange mix. It's raining. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's really raining outside. Oops. Because they are water reactive, they also blend nicely on gesso, so it's really nice how you can play with them. Okay, so I've got my inside, and now for the petals, which I'm not sure. Let's see, maybe just a hint. Or maybe, I know, I've got an idea. Let's see if it will work. I've got a Q-tip, and I've got my Victorian velvet that I've used in the background. And let's see if I can work with the Q-tip. Yes, I can. And it works beautifully. Of course, I can also bring back the stencil if I want to be more accurate, or if I just want to use a makeup sponge, so you can always bring back the stencil so you won't get out of the lines, and then add the color that you want. And if you prefer to use an acrylic paint, so with the stencil and a makeup sponge. So I'm just going to go over like this, and I think that now I'm going to bring in this worn lipstick and just add a hint of it in some places. Yeah, it's working. I love when things work. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll come back. I'm back, and I really love this flower. It turned out better than I thought. And I took another felt pen and just added a little bit of more definition in some of the petals, just like that. And the only thing I want to do now is just add a little bit of splatter, and I'm going to use the Stormy Sky, putting it here like this. Again, taking a paintbrush with water. I have a jar of water here out of frame, and just gently, maybe I will cover the inside. Let's see, I need some piece of paper. Yeah, and some splattering. Yeah, that's what I was. Sometimes everything comes together, not always. More water, covering here, and doing more splattering. Yeah, now I just want to add one more color. And what color should I use? I'm really not sure. Let's wipe this in the meantime. Well, I'm going to be brave and I'm going to use the Worn lipstick, which is very, very pink. And again, okay, I'm calling it done. I really like it. I'm not adding anything. I was going almost going to add some stamping, but I'm going to leave it be. I need to deal with white spaces and leave them be. I really like the outcome. I hope you too. Thank you for watching and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.